And after understanding the Quran, we are ordered to reflect on it. It is not just to read and understand. It is working this machine here that we call the human mind on the Quran. So it is not a passive understanding, but an obligation to use our mind and to ponder and reflect on the Quran. One example of reflecting in the Quran is that we read in the Quran Allah addressing the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam, "We have sent you but mercy to the worlds, all the universe. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ." And we read also in the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا كَافَّةً لِلنَّاسِ بَشِيرًا وَنَذِيرًا. We have sent you, but to go to all people, a warner and a giver of glad tidings. And this causes us to reflect. The Quran also states the fact, well known to all of us, that the Prophet was a non-lettered person. He didn't know how to read and write even his own language, the Arabic language. How can he then be required to transmit the message to all the worlds and to all people of different languages and different tongues? Now, to the naive mind, this looks like an inconsistency. You send me to all the people and you know that it is only one language that I can speak, not even write. And there seems to be an enigma there, except if you reflect and ponder and use your mind. Because Allah warns against those who don't use their minds, even in the Quran. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Don't they ponder on the Quran, or are the locks bolted over their hearts? Allah says, وَلَقَدْ ذَرَأْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا أُولَئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ. Allah says we have assigned to hellfire many amongst the jinn and the human beings. They have minds but they don't think. They have eyes but they don't look. They have ears but they don't listen. These are like cattle or even more stray. And working our mind between the sides of the equation, one language the Prophet asked to convey the message to people of all languages, there is only one explanation that we should be aware of. And Allah gave us the clue in another verse of the Quran when He addresses Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam, قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِي أَدْعُو إِلَى اللَّهِ عَلَى بَصِيرَةٍ أَنَا وَمَنِ اتَّبَعَنِي. Say, this is my way, calling to Allah upon clear vision, me and those who follow me. And this is the answer. It is you mentioned in the Quran. The Prophet speaks only Arabic. You speak other languages and other tongues. You can comprehend Islam, but then it will be your duty, if you opt to be one of the followers of Prophet Muhammad, to convey the Quran to the rest of humanity. Well, this is reflection, and the following stage in receiving the Quran is to implement it, to do it. The Quran is a manual to do. It is not just a book to put in your car or to read it when somebody dies or to read it when somebody is sick. The Quran is a book to do, and it illustrates what an individual should do, what the family should do, what a nation should do, what all Muslims as one community should do, what all humanity should do. And of course, when you go about implementing the Quran, you will find lots and lots and lots to implement as individuals and as a Muslim community. Of course, the rest of it might not pertain to Muslim minorities in other lands, except we should keep our implementable part of Islam in our relations and our manners and our character. But the Quran was sent to be implemented, not just to be read and kept. When Allah speaks in the Quran, you will notice that Allah refers to himself sometimes as I, sometimes as we. It is not the we of the plural, because Allah is only one. And some Christians often ask, why does Allah say we? Then you are polytheistic. But it is one of the features of the English language that there is something that is called the royal plural. We, the Queen of England, decreed this and that. So we is the plural of majesty, and sometimes as he. Allah would be referring to himself as he. The examples are plenty, of course, and in one verse there might be a jump from one mode of self-reference to the other. تولج الليل في النهار وتولج النهار في الليل وسخر الشمس والقمر. It is an acute jump. We saying to Allah, you instill night into day, and you instill day into light, and he harnessed the sun and the moon. So this rapid movement between the various references or self-references you will note in the Quran. After that, when it comes to specific addressees, you will find that Allah addresses several categories. One of them is an-nas, humankind, mankind, all the people. And you will find that the address applies to all people. Something like, إِنَّا خَلَقْنَاكُم مِّن ذَكَرٍ وَأُنثَى. That goes to all people who have created you from a pair of a male and a female. يا أيها الناس أنتم الفقراء إلى الله والله هو الغني الحميد. All people, you are poor to Allah, and Allah is the rich and the self-sufficient. Then after the whole people, there is more specification. يا أيها الذين آمنوا. That is a category within the whole people, and that is those who attained to the faith. Like يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Obviously, to say our prayers and peace upon the Prophet would not include the whole people, but includes only those who believe. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اركعوا واسجدوا واعبدوا ربكم. You those who believe, do ruku', do sujood, and worship your Lord. This is somewhat exception from the totality of the human race. Allah might address an individual human being. يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية. You tranquil soul, one soul, and Allah addresses it. You tranquil soul, come back to your Lord, pleased and pleasing. Allah may address all the messengers, and we know that there was a long chain of messengers along human history. Some we have been told about, and we find their names in the scriptures. But Allah also tells us that there are so many that He didn't tell us about.